Hey, N.A.R.C troopers. Today we're going to talk about something that has turned into something of a pet peeve for me. It has to do with how people perceive what is happening to you. And, if I hear one more person give me some divorce platitude that says, you're going to get over this soon. Just move on. Just forget about it. Divorce is hard. You've had a rough year. You had a broken heart. You went through the grief process and, you just need to move on. If I hear one more person say that, I think I'm going to choke them out, or we're going to have a problem. It's going to get scrappy because that just shows that they have absolutely no idea what is really going on with me. And so for all of you who are going through recovery after a relationship with a disordered individual, let me tell you, I understand what this is. And other people who are going through this, they understand what it is. And then for the rest of the world, they have no idea. They have no clue. They have no clue what this is. And so the only thing that they can relate this to is some kind of like divorce thing where, you have a broken heart or you have a divorce. Now, what I have is complex PTSD. That's what I have. What I have is brain damage, neurochemical imbalances, physiological changes in the neural pathways in my brain. I have been I've been in a cult. I've been brainwashed because of intermittent reinforcement. I have been traumatized through that abuse and that conditioning of the wonderfulness, then the horribleness, and then the love, and then the betrayal, and then the hope, and then the disappointment, and this going on year after year after year after year. It reprograms everything. Your brain is not the brain that you entered this with. I could go on. You have cognitive dissonance. You get confused. You don't know if you've been down that rabbit hole with them. You're emerging from the cave, Plato's cave, where you've been living in a world of shadows. You don't know sometimes. You begin to doubt yourself, like, what's really going on? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, you've already lost it because you've been with this person all these years who has done this to you. What you are experiencing, panic attacks, not the kind where people can say, you're just being dramatic. You're just getting all emotionally worked up. F that. No, you're not. You're in a dead sleep and then bam, boom, 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 boom. Heart's pounding like it's beating out of your freaking chest. You feel it on the bed, like pounding. Can't get your breath. You're gasping, choking. Feel like you're dying, this close to calling 911. Yeah, that's what's happened. That's what's happened. And those panic attacks, those anxiety attacks, you can't control that. They come out of nowhere. There are triggers. The kind of trauma that we have experienced is like, if we just had PTSD, and I say we, people who are recovering from relationships with people with antisocial personality disorder, cluster B, narcissist, sociopath, and psychopath people. Those people, if you've been tangled up with that, you haven't experienced an abuse that it's just a complete mind fuck, for lack of better words. If they had beaten you, that would have been a million times easier because people could see the scars and the bruises and they would say, oh, okay, we understand what's happening. But maybe you're with the kind of narcissist, and there's different kinds. Mine never raised his voice, never lifted a finger, was the most kind and gentle and sweet and soft and helpful and hardworking and wonderful person until he wasn't and morphed into this criminal person that was incapable of feeling human emotions and did horrific things to not just me, but my family. And I stayed because you know what? It's like those people, I never understood this. Why do people stay when they have like somebody who's abusing them? And why do they stay if that person is abusing their family members? You know why they stay? because they're trauma bonded, because their brain has been hijacked, because they're sick. You're with a sick person and who has made you sick. They have infected you with that sickness. And because you are infected with their sickness, you can't leave. I never understood, like, why do these women stay with men who are, or why do men stay with women who are crazy and may kill them? They stay because they can't leave. They can't. You can't just leave. I've had people ask me that, and it's so frustrating, right? Because they just don't understand. Why don't you just leave? You can't. He could have killed me. The last 18 months or so, I got this intuitive feeling in my gut that said, he wants you to die. He wants to kill you. If you walk behind the car, he may run over you. If you walk in front of him on the stairs, he may push you down and try to break your neck. He may smother you in your sleep. Pretty sure he would have done it if he thought he could get away with it and that he wouldn't have gotten caught and sent to jail. If he had a surefire way to make it look like an accident, oh, hell yes, he would have done it. I believe that with all my heart, that he wanted me to die. Like, out of the 16 years, the last year, 6 months, year, 18 months, somewhere, yeah, I felt it. I did. But I stayed. I freaking stayed because I couldn't go, because I was, my brainwashed cult, it's like being in a cult, Those people do some crazy messed up stuff, right? Drinking the poison Kool-Aid and stuff. That was me. I couldn't not be there and experiencing that. I couldn't get away. It wasn't because I was weak. Someone recently said, you know why those people stay and let their husbands kill them? Because they're weak. I was so insulted by that. It just shows you have zero understanding of the dynamics of abuse and trauma and the addicted mind and the brain chemicals and the trauma bonding and the Stockholm syndrome and the whole cult mentality of brainwashing you. They have no idea about what that feels like. They have no idea about how it changes you and how it makes you sick. People don't understand unless they have gone through it. People don't understand unless they've known someone who's gone through it. So if I have one more person come up and say that people are weak who don't leave, or they don't care about themselves, they don't love themselves, don't love their family, that's a lie. I love myself. I'm smart. I'm creative. I'm amazing. I deserve so much better. I love my children more than life itself, yet I let him hurt me and them more than once, and I stayed. People die every day because they stay. They can't leave. There's a reason why. A physiological, neurobiological, trauma-informed reason why they cannot go. So, my message is this. If you have a friend or family member who is telling you that they have been through a relationship with one of these disordered people with a personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, cluster B, narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, if they tell you that, believe them. Believe them. And you need to know that the recovery is nothing like a regular divorce. I've been married twice. And the first one was even though there was stuff wrong with him and wrong with the marriage, it was a pretty normal divorce process. A little over a year of grieving, counseling, a couple of antidepressants, a couple of, bad moments. But overall, it passed. A year passed, 14 months, 15 months. I was out there moving on, dating again, talking, feeling alive, feeling recovered, not crying and curled up on the bathroom floor. I was okay. And, he returned like 17, 18 months later, after he initially had wanted the divorce. And I said, no, it's over. I mourned you, I grieved you, I put you away. It's done. I don't love you anymore. I've moved on. And it made complete sense. And I was filled with hope, and, my life was still intact, though I had been through something really rough. We had children, and it was an ugly divorce with fighting over money and all of this. He was a doctor, and he owed me money to finish my graduate terminal degree that he promised, because I am smart and gifted and awesome, and he promised, and we fought, and it was horrible. But you know what? All of that was nothing compared to this, because it wasn't a relationship with a personality disordered cluster B individual who spent years doing this whatever to your brain. It's soul rape. It's abuse that is intangible, but the most horrific that you can imagine. It wasn't that, so I recovered. Now, every day is so hard. It's been 13 months, and I'm still in recovery. Look at me. Do I look okay? I'm not okay. But you know what? I'm getting okay. I'm better than I was a year ago. A year ago, I was waking up 3 and 4 times a night with those pounding, crippling, gasping panic attacks, curled in a ball, and I was trembling. You know that trembling, shaking thing? That's a deal following trauma. That's a real thing. Your body shakes to the bone like you have a high fever and you're having rigors. Animals do that when they're traumatized. They'll begin to shake and quiver. That it's a natural, instinctual response. I shook like that for almost, 8 to 10 days, and it started to taper off. But for those 8 to 10 days, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk. I could barely make it to the bathroom and sit up to eat some crackers and drink some water to stay alive. It was completely incapacitating. Physical response. Not just mental or emotional, but physical response of shaking, not just my hands, my whole body to the bone, my legs, my core. My core was trembling. PTSD is like an instant, like you go to war and you see a whole village get burned to the ground and you witness horrible death and stuff like that. And that traumatic event sets off PTSD, and you come back from that war and you're really screwed up. Or you witness a murder, or you're in a car accident, or someone breaks into your home and holds you hostage. That causes PTSD. I have C-PTSD. Didn't make it up. 2 mental health professionals working with me this year both confirmed this. Complex PTSD is not just one traumatic event, but it's a series, a repetitive pattern of numerous traumatic events, one after another, after another, after another, over a period of time, layers of it that you have to peel back one at a time. And like, it's like, putting the pin back in a grenade. It's like trying to, there's no words to describe what it's like. And this is not just a regular breakup, divorce, broken heart, woohoo, oh well, get over it. If it were a normal thing, I'd be recovered by now. I would be dating again. I would be moving on with my life, making plans for the next chapter. That's not what happened here. And for those of you who are experiencing this, that's not what happened to you either. And that this is not your regular recovery. This is completely different. We are those people. Even if there's no bruises and scars, we are the people who nearly died from a relationship with people who almost killed us. And the recovery is slow and painful. And it's like that person coming back from war or witnessing a murder. It's like that, and even more because it went on for so long. And then we just took it and got used to it, like the frog in the water. And these people that did this to us, they blame us. blame shifting. That's part of it, and they will never take accountability. They're never going to give you closure. They're sick individuals. Their brain is not even physically on an MRI. It's going to look different. It doesn't work right. They're mentally ill in a profound and broken way that can't be fixed. And their sickness became your sickness and infected you, and now you're going to have to find a way to get past it and to recover. I've done everything a person could do this past year. Everything. Church groups, recovery groups, everything. Energy cleansing, healings, shamanism, pranic healing, acupuncture, Reiki, sacral cranial massage, cord cutting, prayer groups, everything. I have an alchemist I work with to help me get rid of this on an energetic level, to get rid of the trauma in my body. Let's not underestimate what this is. Some people, I know a person who killed herself, committed suicide this year, and another one who had to go to a mental facility and commit herself there to be able to, because she was not okay. It's serious. It's life-threatening. It's for real. You're going to treat a veteran who comes back and has PTSD, you're going to treat that person with respect. Let's try to spread the word out there that when you are dealing with a person who has this kind of thing, that it's the same dynamic, so they need that same respect as that other person undergoing the PTSD. So when you have encountered this in another person, believe them and respect it. And if it's happening to you, keep fighting, because I'm a strong person and strong and smart. And this has kicked my ass in ways I can't even tell you. And I can't even put it, you can only imagine, right? And so it has nothing to do with strength. You have that. And I believe that we can overcome this and that we can get past it. For me, it's been 13 months. It may take me 13 more, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to live life again. I'm going to get on the other side of that, of the damage that has been done. I'm going to get my brain working again and my body working again, and I will get my life back, and I'll be okay. And I hope that all of you will continue to fight the good fight and to try to educate people that are friends and family about what's really happening, because you can't expect them just to understand. They don't. So help them with that. Send them some articles. Let them know that this is for real, Send them a podcast link, something, They may never get it. You shouldn't expect them to, or be disappointed with them if they don't get it. And that doesn't mean they don't care about you. It just means, it's like me with the whole panic attack thing. I have other people in my family who had that, and I always minimized it and thought, come on, just stop being so dramatic and man up. I had no idea until I finally had my first one. At my age, to go a whole life and never have one and then finally get it, it was an eye-opener. I understand that and have a new empathy for people who suffer from panic and anxiety that I just didn't understand before. I was ignorant. These people who don't understand what we're going through, it's the same thing. They're just ignorant. They don't know. So good luck to you on your healing journey, and stay with it. Gather any tools you can to put in that toolbox and keep fighting. There will be peace and joy and a life on the other side of this. You just can't give up. Okay, that's my message for today. Thanks for listening. See you soon.